Good morning, CCSP. Today is Monday, March 1st, 2021, and it is a period 1 through 5 day. Wow, I know you all are excited. We're back to school today in our hybrid model. Grades 5 and 7, and some 6th and 8th graders may be here also, are here Monday and Tuesday, and then Thursday and Friday, the majority of 6th and 8th grade, of course, with a couple of other students so that we could correlate. But it's so good to have you all back, and I hope you're looking forward to it. I hope you're prepared this morning. You remember to bring all of your devices and to bring your chargers, and you're fully charged and ready to go. So this month also is Women's History Month. So we'll have some reminders on Dojo about Women's History Month, and I'm sure your teachers will also have some information, some things for you to do to educate you about Women's History Month. It's also Irish American Heritage Month, so there'll be some information regarding that on Dojo also. And today is Peanut Butter Lovers Day. Now, I don't know about you, but I kind of like peanut butter, especially in the form of Reese's peanut butter cups or any other candy that has peanut butter in it. I love it. Butterfinger, everything. So I hope you like peanut butter. It's really good for you. Let's see, what else is going on? Oh, oh, it's Read Across America Week. So you'll have guest readers coming in to read to you maybe some of Dr. Seuss's books. I hope you have a couple of favorites and I hope you get to hear them. So it's going to be exciting this week. I'm looking forward to it. But let's start the week off right. Please stand or join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Wow. So last week when Ms. Ramirez ended announcements, she was reading about Drini telling her father about Bluish. And her father kind of changed the subject on her before Drini really wanted him to change the subject, but he asked her about her Christmas gifts and asked her what she wanted, and she didn't respond. So let's read to see if she's responding or what's going to happen next in our story. Chapter 4, The Project. Drini got to class just after Miss Baker emptied her briefcase and put her lunch in her desk. Well, good morning to you, Drianne, Mrs. Baker said, calling Drini by her proper name. We're both the first ones today. I don't know what I would do if I didn't see you or Talithia near the front in the morning. She used Tuli's name also. Grinning, yes, ma'am. Morning, Miss Baker, Drini said. Then Miss Baker got busy with her work, and Drini went to fake tree in the corner on the couch side of the room, just beyond the double windows. She bent low behind the tree and was careful not to knock into any of the decorations. She found the plug and put it in the wall socket. Suddenly, tiny lights blinked on, off, on, off, on, off, red, green, and white, over and over. One of my favorite things about the holidays, the Christmas tree. It's magic, Miss Baker, Drini exclaimed. Straightening up, she stood still a moment to admire their tree. All week, students had been bringing in ornaments for it. There was a Santa Claus and her own shiny reindeer that Drini liked best. Miss Baker had brought a kinara, the candelabra with 7 branches, for the Kwanzaa holiday. It was on a bookcase. There was a small menorah for Hanukkah on a corner table. Bluish had brought that in. It had 9 candles and 9 branches. They had books in the bookcase about each holiday, Christmas and Ramadan, too. Somebody had been eating the candy canes that Baker put on the tree. Oh, I don't mind, she said when Dreeny told her. It's the magic of the holiday spirit and a new year coming. She added a few more candy canes each day. She's a good teacher. Dreeny could hear students in the lower, then upper halls. She heard lockers banging open, click slamming shut, and then the rush and busy murmurings as students found their places. The littlest kids were on the downstairs classes. There was the muffled sound of school buses crunches frozen slush in front of the school building. Bluish! Dreeny took up her book bag and leaned in on the side of the couch. She sat there in her place as the building rang with sounds, echoing noise. She closed her eyes for a moment. She could hear some first and second grade classes downstairs were having a party. First thing. She got a whiff of the warm, sweet cookie smell rising on the air to the top floor, and this fifth grade double room. My new school. Not new anymore. And my class. This. My corner, Dreeny thought. Looking around, always she had that first thing in the morning claiming one corner of the couch. She took out her yellow pad and about the project they would do. They had to decide about it. She would keep notes, but she wasn't the one to write it all down, and she waited for the room to fill, warm and cozy, with all the kids she knew. She had come to feel a good part of the whole. Even though she was closer to Thule, she had no special friend yet. But she liked all her classmates. The students went to their lockers one by one or two by two, and then they came in, rid of their coats, checks, flushed in a glossy glow. 2 weeks had passed since Dreeny had told her mom about Bluish. If Bluish came today, she might stay for the whole day because of the project. A few times her mom had come for her when she's had a doctor's appointment. One time, on the spur of the moment, Dreeny had asked Miss Baker to let her and Thule see that Bluish got to the first floor, and she'd let them. So yesterday, when Miss Winburn came up and waited downstairs, Dreeny and Thule got on the elevator after Bluish. They made sure the door stayed open until her chair wheels were inside. They hung back on each side of her. She had her puppy with her, and they petted its head. Lucky you get to ride too, Dreeny had said, smiling, looking down at the floor, pretending she and Thule were only on their early shift for lunch and not there just to watch out for Bluish. Well, they didn't need to pretend. Bluish knew from the start. She looked at them in that half minute and took it on to go down. Dreeny couldn't say the look was exactly, but she'd had come to know the many different ways that Bluish had at looking at you. Sad looks, afraid looks, and watchful ones. One of her mean looks could just cut into you. But yesterday, Bluish had looked pleased to have Dreeny and Thule there. They'd reached the ground floor with Bluish. It was Dreeny's turn to take hold of her chair and push it off the elevator. One time, Bluish had said, I can't do it. Thule had said the same thing, but Thule would jerk the chair and scare Bluish. Sometimes, when Bluish was frightened, Lucky would bark. Rrrr. It sounded like. You tell me when you want one of us to push you, Dreeny had told Bluish. Over a couple of weeks, they grew this way of talking and doing things between them. It blossomed and spread all over the classroom. Seems like Bluish is making friends, and that Dreeny has kind of, made friends with Bluish. It was as if Dreeny knew how to act toward Bluish. Never too close, never too far away. Never to put on of being friendly, but always be yourself. Holla, girlfriend! It was Tuli, up right in her face. Dreeny jumped, startled. She'd been thinking so much, so hard. Tuli, she said evenly. Tuli plopped down beside her on the couch. Kids were taking their places. They knew what to do. Miss Baker and the college intern, Max McKee, had prepared them. They were to get started on special interest projects. In some way, they were to present something unique about their city. Max had helped them form into groups, 4 or 5 of them in a group. Dreeny, Tuli, and Paula, who came by bus. But she was also allowed to take the subway sometimes. And Natalie. Bluish. Dreeny had asked for her when none of the other groups had. Today they would spend time discussing their projects. They had more than a week to research, collect data, write, and present. Miss Baker said each of them had an equal share in what they decided to do. You'll need to cooperate with one another, Miss Baker told them once the class had settled in. You'll have to figure it all out and agree about it. Sounds like a normal teacher thing, huh? It would help if you would write down the agreement. Just a few sentences. I'd like to see it. Dreeny and Paula had the privilege of leaving the school grounds to walk over to Broadway. It was on file in the office that they could have lunch outside at one of the 3 places approved by the school. Paula had thought up the project. Since they all knew Broadway, they would photograph some of what they saw every day. That would be their data. Dreeny wished she'd thought of it. All of them were eager to have it work. Bluish came in, always last when she came at all, almost always the first to leave, rolling in her chair right up to the couch. They all said hi to her. She had her puppy, Lucky, in her lap. He was wearing a little knit dog coat that matched Bluish's hat. So cute, Tuli exclaimed. Bluish took Lucky's coat off, but she didn't remove her hat. It was chartreuse green and blue and red skull hat that had pulled down over her ears. Dreeny thought the combination of colors made Bluish look paler, bluer. They talked about how cold it was. Wish summer would hurry up, Dreeny said. She smiled at Bluish, reached over and petted Lucky. Bluish watched. Then they got up and got to work. First, they agreed that Paula should write down everything on her yellow pad because she had the best handwriting. Okay, I'm ready to write the agreement, Paula said, tossing her long black hair. What's it to be? Let's talk about who's good at what, Bluish said. Yeah, Dreeny said. Tuli's good at seeing everything on the street, and she can tell Paula a lot of things to write down. I know everything between here and 113th Street, Tuli told them. I kid you not. Knows everybody and everything. I've seen her, Dreeny said matter-of-factly. Who could miss her? Oh, me. That's funny, huh? Who could miss her? Paula said dryly, writing it down. Okay, then what will we do now? She asked Dreeny. I can take the pictures. I've used my dad's camera before. It's a good one. She was about to ask Paula to be her backup when Bluish said, I can help you. Really? Dreeny asked. I'm allowed to go outside, she said in her squeaky voice. It seemed to come from deep inside of her, just so long as there's somebody responsible with me. Surprised, they couldn't help staring at her. Pale little thing in a wheelchair, Dreeny thought. Well, why not? We'll take turns pushing you then, Paula said. I don't think I'll be any good at that. She fidgeted, looking away as Bluish smirked at her. It's not anything hard to do, Drini said. They fell silent a moment, surrounded by the noise of the other students talking, asking Miss Baker and Max questions. We need to figure out how it should happen from point to point, Bluish said. Her bony hands roamed over Lucky's sleek fur. Her voice seemed larger as each day they grew more and more used to the sound of it. Drini, Bluish, and Paula were quick to understand the process, quick to realize that they had to show Thule. Here's what we're doing, Thule. You remember? Drini asked. I forget. We're going to go out of school, maybe on Wednesday, and look around. We're all going together and take some pictures, too. So what's the agreement? Paula asked. What am I writing down to show Miss Baker? Let's write, ours is a street project, Bluish said. There will be photographs and word descriptions of Broadway on a poster board mounting. Hey, that's really good, Paula said. I'll write it, okay? Agree, everybody? They all agreed. Sign up with your names, Drini said. Uh-oh, the lights went out. Sorry. Okay, so Miss Stratton is doing the rest of this in the dark. Put mine first, Thule said. Thule, let's do it alphabetically, Drini said. D first, then N for Natalie, then Paula, then Thule. Putting me last, Thule said. Thank you very much, my homie. Well, somebody here has to be last, Paula said. That's nothing. Somebody has to be first and second, Bluish said with a faint smile. I've never been first at anything. Aw. She managed a short, squeaky laugh. They grinned, and then they laughed. After they made a general plan, they could choose the size of the poster board and where they would post it. We'll take lots of pictures, Drini said. Won't we, Bluish? Bluish frowned. My mom doesn't like kids calling me that. But you can. It depends on the spelling. Looks like a very nice friendship is forming between Bluish and Drini. Do you think so? We hope so. Tune in tomorrow to see what happens in the rest of the chapter. CCSP, have a wonderful day of learning and teaching. Bye, guys. Lights on. Lights not on.